It's Monday, the 10th of May. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Mark Anthony, and we'll get to those news headlines in just a second. But first, let's take a look at those utterly meaningless celebrity birthdays. Today actually marks the birthday of John Wilkes Booth, who you may know is the man who shot and killed Abraham Lincoln. So we won't be celebrating that one. Given the manner in which he ultimately checked out, we won't be marking the birthday of Sid Vicious either. But we will happily raise a glass to actor and dancer Fred Astaire, to 60s singer Donovan, to Sly Dunbar of Sly and Robbie fame, and to one of my first celebrity crushes, Sally James from Tibbs. If you remember, you remember. Happy birthday also to Bono from U2, who may or may not have inspired my choice of eyewear. And while we're about it, a belated many happy returns to West Ham captain, Mr. West Ham himself, Mark Noble, and a equally belated happy birthday to Mark Dudley over at Armac Group. Both of these fine leaders of men celebrated their birthday on Saturday, but this is the first opportunity I've had to do anything about it. One final thing, in light of yesterday's football result, if Mark Bryan at JBV Demolition or Mike Keogh at C&D Consultancy want to get hold of me, they will have to send me an email, as I won't be taking calls from them or any other Everton fans for the next few days. We'll be right back after this.
If you enjoyed this show, please consider supporting us. Go to buymeacoffee.com/demolition news.
Right, let's start the week with a bang, shall we? I woke yesterday to an email from my friend Ron Gilbert over at Dicon Explosive Demolition in the States to say that his team had carried out what amounted to be a test blast on a Texan flyover. I'm no expert in these things, but Ron undoubtedly is, and he tells me that this bridge across the I-35 in Austin in Texas was constructed using a new post-tension cable concrete that has not been blasted previously. It's been blasted now. Let's take a look. Fire in the hole indeed. Having successfully blasted this portion, Dicon will be tackling the remainder of the flyover on Saturday this week, all things being equal. Thanks to Ron Gilbert for sharing this, and congratulations to the Dicon team for another job well done. Come friendly bombs and fall on Slough. It isn't fit for humans now. There isn't grass to graze a cow. I mean, come on, where else do you get demolition and poetry on a Monday morning? John Betjeman clearly wasn't a fan of the town of Slough, so he'd likely approve of plans to demolish at least one small part of it. There are plans for a near £4 million mixed-use development at 12 to 20 Windsor Road in the town. The client in this instance is a company called Stavco, and both Feltham Construction and Francis Construction are thought to be in contention for the new build portion of the works. But first, a demolition contractor is required to do the work, ideally without Betjeman's bombs. You can find out more about this project lead and many more just like it over at buildersconference.co.uk. Now, Construction Inquirer is reported today that a Blackpool contractor has been fined after putting employees at significant risk of a fall from height while working on a roof. Blackpool Magistrates Court heard how on two occasions in July 2019, two employees of Ron Richardson Construction were observed waterproofing a flat roof at a fifth floor level in the town, close to an unprotected edge, without the means to prevent a fall. The workers were not being monitored and had assessed the roof to do the work. They were unable to carry out the task from below with the equipment which had been provided for them. Enforcement notice had actually been served previously against the company for work at height failures at the same site. Now, although this isn't demolition related, it does echo the safety concerns raised last week in a report by Building Safety Group, or BSG, that identified that a staggering 84% rise in working at height safety breaches in the first quarter of the year. In fact, that report forms part of or basically forms the basis of today's This Week in Demolition newsletter. If you don't receive that newsletter, and if you don't, I'd like to know why not. You can sign up for it over at demolitionnews.com/contact. Failing that, if you look closely, I've actually added a link to the article in today's show notes. Now, you might be wondering about my choice of hat for today's show. I know Peter Haddock is. I was having a bit of a tidy up over the weekend, and it occurred to me that I now have something like 40 branded baseball caps lining the walls of my office, and very few of them ever get an outing. So over the course of the next 12 shows, I'm going to take you around the world in a dozen hats. And we start today right here in the UK with this fine hat given to me, those equally fine folks over at JCB. But where will the baseball cap world tour take us next? Well, you'll have to tune in to find out. I would urge you to join in tomorrow as well, as we finally reveal why attachments company MB Crusher has effectively been offline for the past week. At 3 o'clock this afternoon, I'm actually joining MB Crusher on an exclusive Zoom room, whatever the hell one of those is, to find out exactly what they've been up to, and I will reveal all tomorrow morning. Just one final thing. It is now officially spring and summer is fast approaching. So we've given our merch store a much needed makeover, and our latest range of Demolition Nation t-shirts and hoodies and hats is now taking centre stage. I will add a link to the merch store in the show notes today, just as soon as the show is over. But man alive, wouldn't you look smart in one of those? That just about wraps up the show for today, but you don't get rid of me that easily. I'll be live on Instagram this afternoon at 3:30, and I'll be talking about rugged mobile devices. I'll bore you more at 3:30 this afternoon, but as a man who has destroyed, I think, 5 iPhones and at least 2 iPads in the line of duty, I want to know all about rugged devices and how they might save me a few quid over the coming months and years. Incidentally, our last IG Live on the subject of used equipment has now racked up more than 1,500 views. I think we had 400, 500 people watching live, but we've since had another 1,500 tuning in as well. So IG Live is proving to be increasingly popular. So join us if you can, because you do get an opportunity to actually take part, ask questions and comment and all that good stuff. Failing all of that, I'll be back here same time, same place on the morrow with another breakfast show and another hat. Destination unknown. But until then, have a great day. Stay safe. Look after yourselves, your family, your friends, and your colleagues. And I will see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching.